Okay, welcome to another Poppa Paints video. I want to show you kind of a cool thing you can do, and it involves like a quick painting and painting on a small canvas. This size right here is 5 inches by 7 inches. You can get them for I don't know, a couple dollars, and you can get 5 of them at Hobby Lobby and everywhere else that they sell things like this. Even on Amazon, I've seen them. But anyway, so let's turn the camera around. I'll show you one I did, and then I'll do one while you're watching. Okay. Okay. So there's one I did earlier, and I messed up in the recording of it, the live recording. So I'm going to do another one, and these are really cool as a little gift because you can see it's up against my computer. It's very small, 5 inches by 7 inches, and it makes for a nice gift. To somebody, maybe as a little piece of desk art, if that makes sense. I'm trying to put it someplace that makes sense. But anyway, so let's do another one, and we'll do that right now. Okay, so you can see it's a very small canvas. I got a very small palette of paint here, and so let's just get started. I'm not going to do a back painting. I'm just going to kind of paint it right straight on the white. And so let's just go. I have some blue-gray here. I'm going to start that with the sky, and then we'll work our way down to another seascape painting. I think that's what I want to do, a sunset, a Florida sunset. Typical Florida sunset, especially if you're on the West Coast, of course. There aren't really many sunsets on the East Coast, unless you're looking across the Intracoastal Waterway. I think that fan might be making a noise. I'll stop that. So what I just did right there, that's Payne's gray right there. So it's not black, it's just very, very dark. And it's such a great color. I don't know why, but it seems to work really well with almost everything. So I'm just going to add a little bit of orange now and some just hints of gray. What I want to do is I want to get down to a point where I have a bright spot, and that will be the sun. I can go ahead and create I think I should create a horizon, so I kind of know what I'm going down to. So there's the horizon. Let me get a ruler and make sure I got it straight. Let's see. That's 3 inches from the bottom. Not bad. Look at that. Wow. I never get it right the first time. But anyway, there it is. So I'm going to just put some dark down here for later on when I get to the sea part of this. And I'm going to keep it thin so that it dries quickly. Sometimes I like it to stay wet so that I can work with it. And I'll do that a little bit on this one too, just to blend it. But I think for the most part, I'm going to keep it dry. Okay. All right, now back to the sky. Let's get some more, a little bit of this dark. Just as long as I have it on the brush, I might as well scrub it away until the brush is almost dry. And add some orange to this. And we want to create. Let's I don't want to mess too much with the brush that has these colors in it. When I get to the light colors, I want to use a different brush. But right now I'm just trying to create that orangish, reddish sky that you see at sunset. It's reflecting off the clouds and just creates that brilliant, beautiful experience that we all love to see. And you can be anywhere. It doesn't have to be in Florida, really. The thing about Florida is there are no mountains, and sometimes it's really fun to paint mountains. You know, mountains are a cool thing to paint because I'm kind of distracting myself here. But what I wanted to say is they're a cool thing to paint because the distant mountains often have a haze around them or in front of them, And that haze is kind of fun to paint because it's almost an illusion that you can create with paint. Sometimes you don't see it with your eye in the real world. You only see it like in a photograph or a painting. So, all right, I think there's a little too much Payne's gray on this brush, so I'm going to have to dip it into the water and actually get rid of it. Let me get a clean brush now. What I want to do with the clean brush, as long as I'm doing a clean brush, I'm going to get some of this yellow. I'm going to put it right there. I think that's where I want to put that. It's got to be hardly there. And I'm going to just take that yellow and go as far as I can everywhere. Okay. I want to put some orange around it and then kind of blend. This is where I'm keeping it wet so that I can blend it a lot. Put some orange around it. And the kind of one of the things that happened that made me want to do this for a video was a question from somebody asking me about sunsets and about paintings that sell. I know that's kind of a weird thing, but that's what I was asked. How do you make a painting that sells? Well, all paintings sell, first of all. I think there's a market for everything. And if you want to know my formula for pricing, and I've had that question before too. Well, I'll just come right out. It's $3 a square inch, and then you can always lower it from there. But that's the starting point. So if you have this is 5x7, and 5 times 7 is 35. 35 times 15. 35 times 3. Is, let's see, 30 times 3 is 90, 5 times 3 is 15, right? So it's 105 is what this painting would cost. Now you might say, that's a lot of money for that, isn't it? Well, it depends. Everybody's got their own idea of what's valuable. If you look at paintings that are in the museum and you have some small ones, I promise you they are not cheap. However, in reality, you want to sell paintings, and a lot of times when you're selling them at an art show or something like that, people don't want to pay a lot of money. But you have to hold out for the ones that you really have spent a lot of time on, the paintings that you've really invested your time in and your talent in and your know-how, and the ones that really you can hold off because somebody eventually will come along who has money. You don't see the people who sell the expensive cars making accommodations for people who don't have enough money for an expensive car. Does that make sense? You pretty much have people who can afford expensive cars buying expensive cars, and people who can't buy the cheaper ones. I'm one of those guys who has always bought the cheaper one, just so you know. But with the paintings, this is how you're making a living, right? So, well, not everybody is, but and by the way, this is not just necessarily just to make a living. This is a great gift. Robin and I paint. We paint cards for the church. The church will send us these little letters that say that so and so is in the hospital and is sick, and it'd be nice if we could send them a card. And what most people do is they go to the store and they buy a nice card, and then they send it to the person who is mentioned in the letter. And what Robin and I like to do is to get the gouache paint and these cards that we got from Amazon, and from there we take we paint a nice card, a landscape, or it's usually a landscape. In the winter, it's almost, well, I guess it is that time now. But let me wash this brush out. I don't want to touch right there. It's going to be too hard. Let's see. What do I want this? I'll put some of this up here. I don't want to touch the middle of that bright spot because that's got to stay bright. We don't want to mess up that middle. Okay. Just a little bit of pointillism here. So what we do is we paint these cards for the people who are in the hospital or home in bed or whatever, And it's amazing how it brightens their day. And the reason we know it brightens the day is because sometimes we get thank you notes, or sometimes we'll bump into them in church, or they'll tell somebody who tells somebody, and then the word gets back to us. And it's always a nice feeling to know that you did a little something and made somebody feel just a little special. It's nice to do things, right? And okay, we're gonna blend that a little bit. Okay, now let's get a clean brush, and work on that middle piece a little bit. I'm gonna work on it with white first. Just go ahead and put it back to the color it was before it was painted on. There, perfect. Now we're gonna take this orange with the white already on the brush, and we're gonna spread it around. Yeah. So a week from a week from yesterday is Thanksgiving, and I know a lot of you are preparing for the holidays. Okay, so now let's see. I want to go down here, and this is going to be where the ocean is reflecting that bright sunlight as the sun gets close to the water. And I'm going to make it a little bit. Just kind of tap it in here and there and get some of that red in there. And again, I want to keep it thin, but I'm not doing a very good job of that because it is starting to get thick over here. So let me add some more red to that. So what I want to try to do is I want to create the illusion of waves too. So it's not just a sunset on a still ocean, but rather a sunset on a rough ocean. And that's what I'm hoping I can accomplish. Yeah, little by little, I'll get it done. I was hoping this would be a quick one, but I have a feeling I'm going to take, like usual, take a lot of time to do it. But I was going to do this live. I tried a live video this morning. I guess when you have a new channel on YouTube, they don't want you to do live until you have a larger number of subscribers. So I'll have to wait before I can do that. Okay. Just trying to get the reflections over here from the part of the ocean that's right under the bright sun, because then we're going to have some more down here too that does the same thing behind these waves. Okay. All right, now let's grab some of this yellow and bring it down here, just to this white. Okay. All right, now let's create. I got to get another brush. I keep putting my brushes down in the water. This is okay, this brush. I'm going to take some of this Payne's Gray. I'm going to brush it just slightly, mix it with this blue gray so it's not so, and some white. Lighten it up a bit. Here we go. You know what? It's going to need a little bit of red in there too. A little bit more red. Oops, wrong one. I pushed through the wrong one. What I want to do is create the look of the ocean when you know how the surf reaches the sand. So I want to create that look a little bit. Yeah. I know it doesn't look like it yet, but I'm gonna work it. There's some of that look of the sand being pushed away, being dragged back and forth by the ocean. Yeah. All right, now I'm gonna get a new brush. I'm using a lot of brushes on this one. All right, now I'm gonna put a dark area right around here. What this is actually is not an outline as much as it is the shadow of the surf, and it's hard to tell it right now because there's nothing painted there yet, but we will paint something there. And normally I would work from top to bottom, but I thought I would establish this first so that I wouldn't forget what I was trying to do. Yeah, that's the shadow of the surf. Okay, again, another brush. Once you get something dark on the brush, you kind of have to get rid of it and clean it. Okay, right now, so what we want to do is, let me think about this. Let me use some of the lighter colors and kind of spread them around. I'm going to even use some of that light blue and move it in there. Just kind of move it around and get some of these lighter colors. Get some of that white in there. Yeah, the idea here is to create the look of an ocean moving, the shallow part of the ocean. And hopefully I'm able to accomplish that. And I'm putting the light part down first, and then we'll add the dark parts. I think that'll be the best way to do this, as opposed to putting light on top of dark, although we could do that too. Put a little bit dark on here. Yeah, we're gonna have to do light on dark as well as dark on light. It's just not happening for me right now. Okay, but you can start to see it, right? You can start to see the idea here. Just kind of dabbing it in here. And keep that middle part light. Okay, now let's take this same brush and use some of this dark here and get some of these other waves. The waves look dark because they're behind, the sun is behind them. So it's really the shadow of the wave that we see. Okay, I might need to get a different brush. This brush is a little bit too bristly. Sometimes a bristly brush is exactly what you want. And I'm not sure that I don't like it. Actually, in some ways here with the ripples in the water, you know, they're never perfect. So yeah, we want to create this look of the waves creating little shadows and so is it starting to look like what I pictured? Do you think it's starting to look like? Okay, this is too bristly. I'm gonna have to get another brush. Oh my gosh. I brought a bunch of brushes over to where I'm sitting, so I should be able to get this. Okay, let's get some more of those waves in there. Now, one of the things about the waves too is they also have light that reflects off the top of them, so we want to make sure we get that in there too. There, can you see it? It's starting to happen, right? Yeah, I like the turbulent water. I like the way that looks. A bit of a shadow there, where there's a ripple in the water. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, now let's take some of that white and that dark, that light yellow. Get another brush. And here, there's a good brush. I found a good brush. There's a good brush right there. All right, now what I want to do is take some of this white. And some of this yellow. Let's get some of that white on top of some of these waves. Because they would be reflecting the light also. All right, let's get some of this yellow and red, yellow and orange, kind of make it a light yellow orange with yellow, white, and orange. And we'll get this edge of this water here. Okay. Oops, you see that dark happen there? That's because I got some dark paint on that brush. Another brush in the water. Another clean brush to take its place. And I think we're almost done, but I just wanted to fix a couple mistakes here. Now I'm going to take a pencil. I know this is weird, but I'm going to take a pencil and get rid of some of that white paint there. It's a little bit too thick, and it's not necessary. Just take it off there. Okay, I'm not using the pencil as a pencil. I'm just using it as a scraping tool. There. In fact, I might use it as a brush right there. If I can just put a little bit of paint right there. A little bit of paint right there. There we go. Almost done, I think. Maybe I am done. Yeah, it's just a little bit more orange, just give it a little bit more vibrant color right there. And maybe a little bit more white over here. Spread it thin. Okay, well, thank you for watching. I think I'm done. I was, like I say, tried to do this live. I'll have to figure out how to do it live. I think the answer how to do it live is to have more subscribers. So, hey, if you're not subscribed, then please subscribe, because I'll be able to do these things live. And there you go. There you go. There you go. I'm Poppa. This is Poppa Paints. And this is all... The videos are not new to me. I've done videos for a long time, but not this way. Usually it's walking around talking. All right. Well, there you go. There's our finished seascape. Hope you like it. All right, bye.